Hey everybody, welcome back to Champ and Sons and our Planet Coaster series here, where we have got another update to the park. This is just a little highlight over the, junior section of the park that we got completed in that last episode. So what are we doing today, you may ask yourself. We've mentioned this little area right here before. This is our midway. Now, we have a lot of games from the workshop in here, but I don't want to use those games. I prefer to build my own. And it's not going to be, I'm not going to have the basketball one in there, just mainly because those are, I just don't want to build it, to be honest with you. It's a midway section. Yeah, the basketball game is pretty popular, and I guess I could go ahead and add that into another area. But that'll be for another time. So the midway section is looped out in that dirt spot. Everything else here, what we're going to fill with is going to be a different roller coaster in this middle section, along with like a little lake or a pond or something. So that's what we're going to get going in that area. So let's go ahead and check out kind of what we're looking at here. So when you come into the park, you're gonna have the midsection with the roller coaster, which actually got done on today's stream on Twitch. Outside of that, you're gonna be able to veer off into this midway, and we're gonna kind of join up everything at a farther off corner. So as far as planning, we are gonna put, like I said, a little lake area in there, and then we're also gonna have a little stream as well. So that's kind of what we're planning on here. So let's go ahead and jump into this build. Now, a lot of what you might see if you've seen Planeco by Seb channel came up with kind of how to design these little midway games, and so this is pretty much taken from that design tutorial that he gave. And how to get those completed. So that's what we are going to be working on today, is getting this midway section up and going and kind of completed. So we have this point on our park finally completed. We've been talking about it for a while. So now we just need to finally get it taken care of. We're going to put different kind of games in. There's going to be a balloon popper game. We're going to have... let's see, not only balloon pop, we got some of the ball throws where you throw the ball in the hole, and a couple others. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to hop off. I'll let y'all kind of enjoy this with some tunes to listen to, and I will catch y'all near the end of this episode. So I will be back, and enjoy. Alright, and I am back as we have got a pretty good amount done. I did like the little shooter game that we put in. I really liked how that thing turned out. God, this stupid path work. I mean, I can make it work, right? Like, we can get it to work well enough. It's just a pain in the butt to do. So, I do look at one point at trying to do a path cover here. But you'll see after we take a while to do the path cover, we end up just removing it in the end. So it is what it is. That's kind of how it goes with some Planeco, is everything you build kind of gets changed up throughout the course of your building it. So, but this is just kind of completing it. So we do have essentially like the pond toss one. We got the balloon toss. We got the bucket, or not the bucket, but the ball in the hole toss. We got all that fun stuff going here, along with the little shoot 'em, and I would say fill up the balloons. That's what those cotton candy things were. They symbolize balloons, mainly because I didn't go into the workshop to pick up actual balloons. Now that I think about it, I should do that, but I'm probably not going to if I know myself well enough. So that is going to be kind of that midway section. We do have some finer point detailing to finish up on it. I'm not going to get to that in this episode. We got to put some lights, some fun little shading things going around in this area, but we do still have some minor little touch-up things to finish. So that's kind of what we're looking for here in that realm. And so what I'm looking at right now is getting the path cover done. Now, I could have gone with actually that wood one, which probably would have been pretty decent, but I found this, I guess, pavement, you could say, looking one. I tried to lay it across, and there were some height difficulties, obviously, with the terrain and all that fun jazz, but in the end, I just didn't like how it felt, basically, with this area and the way it looked, covering it, coming into it. So I do keep the cobblestone stuff, and then I do end up removing everything that you're seeing. So that's pretty fun to get all of that put out and then removed in the end. It's just one of those pains of playing the game. And I mean, that's one of the things, as you see, obviously, with the little height, and I hate having to lift it up because then it doesn't really match with everything else height wise. And then coming into here with the asphalt laying out and trying to extend everything over, it just was not cutting it, dude. Like right there, that became the biggest problem, is trying to get that to fit. And that's really what made me have the desire to not put the pavement down in that grand scheme. So you will see us come back to the cobblestone. I will fill in the little patches, though. I do put down terrain paint, basically like sand for the most part, mainly just because I liked how that worked a little bit better in filling those gaps. Now here we do kind of build off some of the back section to kind of complete this little concrete barrier that we had built from the initial time we did the quarry area, which I actually don't mind. I think that turned out pretty damn well in the end, going all the way across there. But it's just this, I think perfect became the enemy of good, or desire for perfect became the enemy of good. And when you realize that, you can kind of slow everything down and go, hold the phone, let's take a step back for a second. We can make some of these changes like we needed to, as you see us doing here, to kind of level stuff out. But in the end, I think it turned out everything for the better for us in this. And you'll kind of see the end product here. We'll get a pretty good shot of it as we go through. Because see, the texture of it just was annoying me. And that's when I decided to get rid of it. It just didn't flow. It didn't work. It just didn't go. I tried to do rock as a terrain paint first. Really just didn't like that. So then sand actually fills in the gaps a lot better with the cobblestone pathway. I like how that turned out so much better than before. So, yeah, that's kind of where we are at in this one. Now, we're going to take some better shots of it at the end as we come around here. So, some of the stuff on the back we're probably going to end up covering up, hopefully at least a little bit. But so this is the end result, and I hope y'all do enjoy it. I do want to remind y'all to hit the subscribe button and hit that little bell icon to be notified of all the content that we do here on Champ and Sons at YouTube, with our next video coming up, filling in that little middle section, and a lot of different expansion going on to the park. So I will see y'all in that next episode, everybody. As always, stay safe, and well, y'all know how it goes from here, right? Later, y'all.